Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dynasty Warriors 9. Today, I'll be doing a special episode with a very special guest, myself, and some wolves that we've met before in Korea. So today I'll be fishing in Korea again while talking about Dynasty Warriors 9 and doing a little review on it again. So, the last couple days, things have really shifted for Dynasty Warriors 9. I actually feel kind of bad the way it's headed. So, while I fish with myself, and myself will lure the fishes and circlets my way, I just want to say that I don't know what the hell Koei is thinking these days, because honestly, I like them a lot as a company, alright? I've really enjoyed a lot of their products over the years. I'm a huge fan of Romance of Three Kingdoms. I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors, of course. And of course, their spin-offs, I like them too. And I also like Nobunaga's Ambition. So, honestly, why is it that they're taking this direction lately? Like, you guys might have known in Steam that they recently had a patch, instead of fixing things, though, they just kind of removed the Chinese language. Maybe they did fix some things, but, well, they removed, like, an entire feature that they originally had. So, it was really, really shitty of them. Honestly, it's pretty much bait and switch, to be honest with you. I didn't approve of that, because when I first got the game, although I picked up the PS4 version, so I don't know if this will be the case in the PS4 version soon, too. I was praising this game for having, global language support. You could go to options and you can select all the different languages, and it was really cool. I thought that, that was an awesome thing that they're doing. And that means I don't have to pick up an additional English version to see English right now. Because right now I'm still playing the Hong Kong version of the game, or a Chinese version of the game. So, as it is right now, I'm a little upset with what happened with Koei. Originally I thought, oh yeah, they made an honest mistake. They must have, just removed it by accident. And then I saw the patch note. It just kind of like openly state that, oh, yeah, removed. Language removed that was not meant to be in the game, or something along the lines of that. And I saw that, I was kind of feeling kind of iffy. So, I don't know. Koei needs to really start getting their head out of their asses. I feel like there's something wrong with their management. But, aside from that, you also have to consider the game itself proper. So, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not like delusional or anything. This game, in most parts, have failed. It's a hot steaming pile of shit. But honestly, I can accept it because this game is beautiful. Well, all right, look. I mean, yeah, the mechanics are really shitty sometimes. The open world is barren. I mean, like, in most of the time, you're just kind of traveling on a horse. You go through a lot of beautiful scenery, and then you see, like, I don't know, a couple resource gathering, and maybe you get to hunt some bandits or some animals, and then you kill them in one hit, which I should not do very often unless, I'm trying to save time. Because fighting boss battles is actually a lot of fun, so I'm probably going to be doing more of that when I go back into playing my playthrough. I only just got time to play today because the last couple days I had a very good friend of mine come from all the way from California, so I had to go meet up with him. There's just no way I wouldn't otherwise. He's my personal Zhang Liao, and I liked him a lot. Back when I was playing in RO, he was my second in command, just like Zhang Liao was, and he did me a lot of good. But anyway, getting sidetracked here. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, this game is beautiful. I feel like they put a lot of love into the design of this game. I mean, look, you're seeing like butterflies and shit flying in the background. It's like they put a lot of beautiful scenery, beautiful background, beautiful characters, beautiful everything. They have like multiple languages for this game. It's obvious that the presentation for this game is really good. They really hyped the game a lot when they did the open world. I mean, in the end, you know, when you actually play the game, though, you discover that it's actually rather lackluster. But I'm still willing to overlook it for a couple of reasons. Now, I like this game because, first of all, I have severe brain damage. I don't think like a normal person. So automatically, you know, me as a fan, I would still play this game, even though it's pretty bad sometimes. But, you know, that's just me. However, for other people, I may think, ooh, oh no, what have I done? The wolves are coming. I better get in the water. It's a good thing that the water is like neutral zone. Nobody will fight each other in the water. Anyway, so what else was I thinking? Stupid water and stupid me just chilling here. Come on, go lure me some fishes. Come on, get over there. Come on, get over there. Get over there. Stop posing. Just get over there. Anyway, so aside from that, I mean, it's a Dynasty Warriors game, even though it doesn't play like a goddamn Dynasty Warriors game. I didn't really like the combat. I feel like it's a little too simplified. I wish that they would actually go and use the old formula on top of what they have now. That would be cooler. But right now, as it stands, it's basically like the stupid Musou Ranbu thing, except, you know, you have a couple extra strings, you know? You can choose, you know, between launching someone, or stunning someone, or knocking someone down, and you can hold down the button to do one attack that staggers someone who's guarding. That's amazing, that's great, except, you know, after you do something, you enter what we call a state combo, and then you just push some square buttons, and that's it. Although, luckily, you could air dash, so you couldn't give your own little spin in comboing, but in the end, though, for the most part, fighting is really just restricted to using a charge attack and then following up with some state attacks and calling it a day. It's pretty much like how Musou Ranbu was, and you just had a bunch of square strings, and then it builds up as you keep hitting someone or something, and then you had one charge attack. Sure, they had a couple fluff like grabbing someone, or I think they even had a counter attack, but it wasn't all that prevalent. Yeah, it was some fluff, but I didn't like it much either. It was just as a fighting game itself, it was just very lackluster. It got boring quick. Now this game, I think, you know, we could do much better with this for combat, but well, what can we do? I mean, it's already been made. Maybe they'll fix things in expansion or something. They always do this. They release the game, and then after the expansion becomes much better. And then finally, you know, Empires come out, and Empires is definitely the version that everybody, you know, okay, not everybody, but that I find to be very popular. I always buy Empire games. Ever since they came out for Dynasty Warriors 4, I just always bought them, because I always dreamt of a game where I could play, like, Romance of Three Kingdoms along with Dynasty Warriors. So I feel like they're probably going to implement some crazy things that will take advantage of the world map or something along the lines of that. That would be really handy, because they have this beautiful world. They really should include more things to it. Right now, the map doesn't contain any, like, randomly generated skirmishes. You don't see people fight on the field. It usually just, you know, happens in, like, specific areas that are quest given. I would like it if they actually, you know, add some things that happens in between traveling, you know? Traveling is really boring. You just get on a horse, you see like a couple of things. You either fight them or you gather them, and that's the end of it. I mean, what else do you do in the open world? Oh, you fish. Look at what I'm doing right now. I mean, my fishing is... The only way I'm entertaining myself is by bringing myself along and watching myself go up a hill. That's how I managed to go and do this without going insane, because this is really, really boring. This is very boring. I mean, I would prefer to have something like in Final Fantasy 15 or Yakuza, where you actually have a little tiny mini game when you fish, and, you know, if you do well, you get a good reward. Here, you know, you just need to find a good fishing hole, a good fishing spot, like here in Korea, and me using regular baits and fishing up these goddamn circlets all day, or regular fish this time, and just make tons of money. Right now I'm sitting on 1 million gold. I might probably never need more. And right now I appear to be humping this cliff, and that is very unnatural. I look like a squid in the water right now, and that is very scary. I hope you guys understand how scary this looks right now. The way I'm just flailing against that cliff, that's not natural. That's not what a normal person should be doing. But anyway, while I go and flail around like that, I also want to talk about clones in this game. So with clones, you know, we've always had that problem since Dynasty Warriors 6, probably even before that, but it was most prevalent in 6. And just like with 6, we have a bunch of new movesets thanks to, you know, a new combat system altogether. And when they try something new, when Koei tries something new, they always make this mistake of doing one thing that is good and progressive and then taking 2 steps back, which was really unfortunate. Anyway, so with the clones, okay, I'm willing to forgive it because, you know, you have like 90 characters. You have different weapons. You want to have quote unquote realism. Okay, all right, I get it. But you know, can't you just straight up say, you know, if there's a lot of weapons, it's kind of hard. Why do you have to go and slap on this realism BS? Because nobody's gonna believe it, producer Suzuki. Nobody actually believes damn lies that you sprout. Because there's so many things in Dynasty Warriors that is not real. That is what makes it charming. You know, I mean, you see Jesus Zhangjiao shooting fire from his staff. Is that real? Is that really what, you know, what he does? No, Jesus doesn't do that. Jesus just kind of got crucified by the Han Dynasty. That's all he did. In fact, he got sick and just kind of passed away a year after he started his rebellion. It was really, really sad what happened to him. I actually kind of liked him because he has good ideals, and he has a really grand plan to overthrow the Han Dynasty. You may think that, oh yeah, you just got a bunch of rabble-rousers together and got some peasants to go, we hate the Han Dynasty. But he planned this very nicely. If only, you know, he didn't get betrayed and his plan got leaked, he would probably overthrow the Han Dynasty even from within. But that's a story for another time. Anyway, so with clones, I feel like, you guys know Zhang He, right? You know, the guy with the claws. It was a huge shame to me that he did not have his claws, and not only was his weapon a clone weapon, but he himself got cloned as well. I mean, you saw Cao Xiu? He looked just like him. When I first saw Cao Xiu, I thought to myself, what the hell is this? He looks just... I thought that was Zhang He for a moment there. Nope, it's just some loser who got tricked in cheating by a guy who cut his hair. I mean, how can you even believe this? Like a guy who's willing to cut his hair, and you're gonna sacrifice your whole army because you feel like, you know, you can believe the words of a guy who cut his hair. And it appears that while we're raping the mountain, the wolves are coming back again, and they're gonna give us a hard time. So we should roll away now because these things, while they don't one-shot me any longer, they hurt a ton. So I'm gonna move away now. Anyway, so with things as they are, I feel like they would probably add a couple weapons down the line. Maybe as DLCs, but I feel like with Extreme Legends, they'll probably bring a couple weapons back. They did this before for the older games as well, so I can expect that to happen. I don't like the way they're doing it, because I would prefer that they just have everything to begin with, but, well, at the very least, we will see them at some point. So, that being said, I'm glad at the very least, you know, they're putting some effort into fixing this game, because with patch 1.03 for PS4, they did manage to fix the frame rate issue, which is very important, because some of you have seen my early playthroughs of this game. You know how laggy it gets. I'm just like half the time, and I'm just staggering all the time, and I'm playing on chaos difficulty. So as a low level in chaos difficulty, I keep getting one-shotted, and I couldn't move. But now they fix things, so hopefully my performance and chaos difficulty will also be a little bit better than before. So anyway, that being said, I'm glad that they're putting some effort into this, unlike, you know, some other companies. So. But still, Koei has a lot to do. They have to really fix things, because right now, on Steam, you have people who are just seriously upset about the whole language thing. Although, it's not like the huge deal. I'm surprised, like, how many people, like Japanese or Chinese. I mean, there are some native Chinese people who say, oh, they don't like the Chinese voice. But I'm also surprised with how many people that do like the Chinese voice. I, myself, I'm a native Chinese. I also love the Chinese voice. You know, it makes... Dude, we're in China, okay? We should be talking Chinese, not some stupid Japanese or English with their poor voice acting. I don't know what their deal even is. They're not like some... Alright, they're not a AAA company, but they had some money. They can, you know, bring back their old voice actors. So I don't know what the story with the new voices are. It's just, ugh. It's not like the whole cast died or something like that. You know, the old voice actors are still very much alive. They're all there. But no, we're not going to use them. We're just going to use a bunch of people whose voices don't quite fit and make them voice the game. So... I don't know what Koei's doing. Are they cutting corners, or are they just kind of just ignorant? Not sure, but they should really start fixing that. Still, the game itself, you know, I can see promise in the game. They just need to work on it a little. It's truly unfortunate, though, that it probably won't happen until Extreme Legends or Empires, but we will do what we can to salvage what we can do with this game. I mean, as it is right now, I mean, I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna very much enjoy it. People ask me, oh yeah, why do you enjoy this game so much? You know, and everybody says it's bad, but well, what can I say? You know, I'm a fan of this time period. I'm very easy to please when it comes to stuff like this. I'm happy just because I get to beat the living shit out of people, hit them over the head. See, that's probably why, you know, Koei is treating people like, or treating the game kind of like, I wouldn't say an afterthought, but just not giving it 100%. Because of guys like me who just buy stupid games like this and just play it because we like the history, we like the people in the games. Still, I don't like this direction. I really wish that they would just focus on entirely on making a good game, you know, bringing good, like, new players into the game. Not just fans like me, you know, I'm not delusional, like I said. I know that game is bad. I'm just very easy to please when it comes to this stuff. But I wish that they would, you know, start taking it just a little bit more seriously, you know? And another thing about Koei as a company, they have a lot of their games, they tend to have a lot of repetitiveness. They try to give you some mechanics, but they're not insanely deep. They're just, you know, all about repeating things over and over again. You see this happen all the time, like in Fire Emblem Warriors, for instance. You know, let's just do a recent example so people know. Like, to unlock things, to lock them, like, special weapons and such, you have to get S rank and everything, and S rank is not actually very hard to do in Fire Emblem Warriors. You just need to score 2,000 kills. Whoa, 2,000 kills. You know what that translates to? Grinding. Grinding on each and every map to try to score yourself 2,000 kills. I find that highly annoying, and was one of the reasons why I haven't been playing the game much. I'll probably still go back to it, but it's a lot of grinding I need to do. I want to get myself this wonderful thing, alright? Which allows me to get the people's armor broken so we can see their half-naked form. This is a very important thing to me. But unfortunately, to get it, I have to grind. I don't like doing that, so I haven't been doing it because it just bothers me. I would much rather play Sanguine Kagura, though, chance. I actually have the Peach Beach Splash game that I bought last year, and I still haven't played it yet because I simply don't have time. Maybe one of these days I'll find some time to play it, and you can all see wonderful girls losing their clothes after getting shot by water guns. But I find it to be pretty funny that they're doing something like this for Fire Emblem Warriors. It might even be like just a matter of time when this happens in Dynasty Warriors, which I would not mind. This would be very funny. But I'm getting sidetracked. Like I said, Koei needs to kind of... I don't mind a little bit of grinding, but they really need to make it like more fun. And I'll give you some more incentive. Like in Final Fantasy 15, like I told you before, or Yakuza with One Blue Fish, it's a fun mini game. You hear like this wonderful music that plays, and you struggle against a big fish as you try to bring it towards you. That was fun. But here, you know, I just stand here and I just push the square button, and loot goes into my pocket, and then I'm rich. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I fish at a spot and I get money. That's it. It's horribly boring, and the only reason why I can put up with this is because my squid form is just doing something absolutely ridiculous to the right of me. I have no idea what's happening right now. I don't know why he's doing it, but he's doing it, and it's terrifying. So let's see, I've covered like my gripes about the combat and clone weapons, their poor public relations or lack thereof, and what? Well, that they loved it, that there's some love to the game, but they weren't able to fully realize it. I feel like there's probably people who work in Koei who thinks the same way. You know, we have all these wonderful things, and yet poor implementation, poor public relations, poor PR, and just a whole lot of poor things, poor decisions, caused this game to flop. I don't know. Would you call this game a flop? I haven't actually checked the sales yet, but right now everyone's just kind of talking shit about the game, and with good reason. You know, it's not like they're completely unreasonable. That there's problems with this game that they really should get that fixed if they wish to reach a broader audience than, you know, stupid old men like me who just likes this because since we were kids we just played their Romance of Three Kingdoms game and grew addicted to it. You know, since we, you know, when I was a kid, I grew up reading stuff like this. Reading the Sanguoji, like literally essays, like a giant book filled with nothing but words. That's how I got decently good with Chinese, because when I came to America later, I was able to retain much of my knowledge. I can't write, but I can most certainly read. I can read just about every word there is. So, yeah, anyway, so now you know a little bit more about me in general. My English is okay for what it is, but my Chinese, that's deteriorated quite a bit since I came here. So, I guess that's probably one of the reasons why I can appreciate the Chinese language. Still, it really surprises me that the Japanese like the Chinese language as well. Like, I'm actually surprised because, you know, I thought that they would. But then again, maybe it's just a matter of having a feature ripped from them that they wanted it back or something like that. But no, I think there's a lot of genuine interest in the Chinese language. After all, there's a lot of genuine interest in this history. There's got to be, you know, the same thing with the languages. I'm sure, you know, a lot of English speakers, they also kind of like this. It just sounds right. It sounds like one of those cheesy Chinese martial art movies. But you know what? It's cool. I like it. That's why I fully support, you know, that multiple language thing that they have. I praised them so much for this, for when they did this for Romance of Three Kingdoms 13. I just hope that they would keep this up and not, you know, actually remove this feature for good. You know, if they change their mind and do a little bit of PR, release a good patch or two, maybe they can still salvage things. But as it is right now, the Steam review is overwhelmingly negative. I checked earlier, a couple of days before, it was like mostly negative, but now it's overwhelmingly negative. Where we're looking at like No Man's Sky level of negativity going on here with the game. You know, when you have something that is bad, people love seeing things, love like drama. People love watching things go bad. So when things like that happen, people will jump on board of it, even though, you know, they don't really care much about Dynasty Warriors in the first place. I feel like it's really what happens. You know, you have people who are genuinely upset, and then after a little bit, you have people who are just like, who are just doing it for the sake of doing it. People like doing that kind of stuff, but you know, that's natural. However, that's why it's very important that your company needs to have good PR. If you don't have good PR, you know, things will degenerate into something like this. I've heard talks that this is like the second most negative game on Steam right now. And honestly, it makes me sad because there's a lot of potential to this game. This is a good game, if it can be made good anyway. I don't mean like Res it is right now, but this game, you know, I like the idea behind it. I find that, you know, it can be made good. They just need to fix these things. They need to fix their PR relations. Alright, look. If this thing flops horribly, we could look at this being the last Dynasty Warriors game, even though this, honestly, in my opinion, this isn't even a Dynasty Warriors game. They should have just called this game Dynasty Warriors Open World and sold that. I would have been fine with that. No, they decided to make this a main series. I like that they're trying something new, but they should really, really make it like a separate spin-off title, or like, like a beta or something at the very least. You can't just experiment with these games. You just can't like experiment like this, you know, without fully fleshing it out. You just can't, because, you know, if it goes bad, people will complain, and when people complain, it just has a domino effect. So I hope that they fix things soon, because really I want to see more Dynasty Warriors. I'm a huge fan of Dynasty Warriors, and it makes me very sad that, you know, this could potentially be the last one, because, you know, they decided to screw around. Of course, another thing I also forgot to mention earlier is that this game is very story intensive. While I do love the story for this game, half the time you're sitting there just looking at cutscenes. We're looking at cutscenes or character scenes of people talking to each other. That's great! I mean, it builds character, but, you know, you're spending too much time on doing that. Most of the time, you're not even fighting. You're just watching cutscenes or traveling across the world, or you're fishing and watching your other self, just humping a cliff and splashing around with the water because he's bored. Because that's clearly what myself is doing right now, because I am bored, and I'm just flopping with the waters right now. So they should, I like the story, but they should really chill out with that. They should focus more on the gameplay aspect of a game. They shouldn't make it too much of a movie. You know what I'm saying? So what else is there to say? I mean, I think I covered pretty much everything. I mean, the open world, the gameplay, the too much cinematics and stuff like that. Honestly, that's pretty much it, really. Oh, I guess I can talk about that stupid housing. Housing is a decent distraction, but the problem is that it was done kind of half-assed. Maybe I should go back to my house and talk about it. After this one, I will go. And we'll take myself back to my home, and we will talk about my beautiful house. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just take a trip back to my house. Alright, so let's go back to my house in the mountains. Mount Song Hideaway. So with housing in this game, all the houses that I've encountered so far have all been the same shape, the same size, the same price. Good thing though, all the furnitures that we bought gets transferred over, so we don't have to worry about buying like different furnitures. But as you can see, I mean, you just get this rectangular size house, and then you can place certain things to give your houses certain features, such as a basket to receive gifts from. Oh, but there's no gifts for me. You can craft, you can cook, but you can do these in town as it is. This is just really a thing for you to have a little hideout in. It's a cute little system, though it's not exactly... It's also kind of buggy, because I asked Washington to come, but he hasn't shown up yet. Oh well, not important. Anyway, so the housing is kind of bland too. When you think about it, it's just a small distraction. It's fluff. I wish that it'd be a little more intensive, like Fallout 4, but of course, you know, currently Koei does not have such plans. But if they do something like this, I want to build my own base. I want to build a town. You know, I want to have my own town somewhere on this map. That would be absolutely awesome. If they can do that, I would have a lot of wasted hours on this game. But, well, things as they are, you know, Koei still doesn't have that, and it makes me sad. They should have followed some examples from AAA games. Honestly, there's a lot of things they really should do with this game. They want to get to a broader audience, you know, they hype this game like to hell, and then this is what we get. Just simply too simple. Oh, there's water wolves. We need to go to them. Let's go, Lu Bu. Myself, we'll go and swim with the wolves. I'm so glad to see those guys again. Oh, maybe I'll even shoot one in the head because I wasn't able to do one before. Let me do that right now, actually. Let us try to shoot one at... Oh my god. Really? I turn around, they're gone! Alright, so again, another problem with this game, which I forgot and just now remembered, is that units could just despawn on the map. Like, just despawn. Just now, I just turned around, they disappeared. But there are literally times where you can be looking at something and they will just disappear in front of your eyes. That is terrible. They should fix that. I don't know why they have something like this happen. I'm fighting a boss and he just disappears. That is terrible. You know, that as if the open world's not already a pain in the ass, bland piece of shit. You have to deal with things that despawn. So, oh, don't even get me started with the AI. I even forgot about that. The AI is kind of dumb. I'm so glad though that when I fight things, they sometimes, you know, the chaos AI is decent. But other than that, in most cases, the AI is really dumb, especially for soldiers. I thought that they made it better, but I guess it was just for a small instance that the soldiers actually started fighting in one of the preview videos. Still, it's probably something they can easily work on. I've seen them do really good work with Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. With Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires, they had these soldiers who normally are really tame. You know, usually what happens in Dynasty Warriors, you see a bunch of guys, they'll circle around you, they'll, you know, walk around you, and then maybe they'll throw like a swing or two. But in 4 Empires, if the enemy has you in a red area, they will hit you. They will keep comboing you. You'll be juggled. It is ridiculous. I mean, I do see some of this right now in Chaos difficulty, which is good, but I suppose I have to say it wasn't enough. I mean, like a guy like me who's just kind of starting on Chaos difficulty with a low-level character, I was able to get by with some healing items. So I feel like Chaos can be a little harder, but doesn't matter. That's just my own personal preference. It's a little bit of fluff. I'm okay with the game as long as it is fun. The game, to me right now, is still fun because I'm a huge fan of the story. I get a hard-on watching my characters talk to each other and sometimes interact in ways that are not part of the history. But for the most part, you know, as a game, if this game wasn't a Dynasty Warriors game, I'd probably skip over it easily. Just skip right over it. So yeah, if they want to get new audience into the game, you have much to work on, my friends. Much to work on. Anyway, I guess with this, I am pretty much done with my rambling. I don't even know how long I rambled for. It must have been quite a while. That's my thoughts on Dynasty Warriors as a game, or Dynasty Warriors 9 as a game, and how I like it to be improved, and hopefully not have it be the last Dynasty Warriors game. I mean, I'm really pleased with all this rain and how my armor seems to reflect this like I can see myself glistering and all this water going down. They didn't put too much detail in this stupid game. They have a lot of unnecessary details. I mean, they're cool details. They're just largely unnecessary in terms of gameplay. They need to really work on their gameplay. Come on! Just good gameplay, Koei. Please, make Dynasty Warriors something that, you know, the world can be proud of. Not something that gives you, like, the second most overwhelming reviews on Steam. Please. Maybe it's Suzuki's fault. Yeah, clearly. He looked like an asshole. Maybe it's his fault. Maybe he should go and fix things right now. Anyway, that's pretty much it, you know. Realism, fake realism, blah blah blah. Game can get fixed. I'm just rambling on now. So, while I go and fish one last time and see more circlets and sell those for millions of dollars, I bid you all farewell, and I hope that, you know, despite for all its faults, you can still find ways to somehow enjoy this game. If you don't, you know, that's fine, you know. It's not a very good game. So we do. I just wish that this will not be the last Dynasty Warriors game. I find myself repeating this a million times because I don't want Koei to fuck everything up. Anyway, once again, I'm rambling. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.